So I wanted to start off just with a little bit of, I guess, a summary of the whole process as I see it, in terms of before COVID to now that we're all starting to come out of this whole 2-year cocooning that we've been in. And so the way that I'm reading it, and why I kind of ask people, well, have you landed in your new direction? Have you kind of come out of that cocooning phase, is because there has been quite a dramatic, I will say, energetic shift that has occurred over the last 2 years. And I'm sure that many of you have intuitively felt this. If you think way back to pre-COVID, we were in certain routines. If you think back to what you were doing, there were certain routines that were happening. There were certain things that we were doing, in like peddling. So whether you were in corporate, or whether you were a homemaker, or whether you were running your own business, there was a certain peddling that was going on in terms of, this is what we need to be doing, and we need to be achieving this much, and we need to be this. There's a lot of needs and shoulds and structures and what I would now term a lot of 3D energy. Now, 3D energy, when I talk about that, I'm referring to our physical, our body, our mental, emotional, and our personality structure. So you could call it our egos. So it's the thing that we think is us. When we wake up in the morning, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, and this whole structure that wiggles around the world and interacts with people. And then what happened was, when we went into lockdown, obviously all the countries went into lockdown at different times, but the one really profound historical fact was, within those 2 years, at one point or another, every single country was in some form of lockdown. And that's really unprecedented. Even when you think of the world wars, they're not really world wars. There are lots of countries not involved. But in this situation, the entire of humanity was involved in some form of being shut down. And then I'm sure you felt like me, in that shutdown, you started to recognize priorities that may not have been so obvious to you before. So, for example, before the recording, we were discussing maybe physical, there was kind of health priorities that started to come up. There was, for some people, there was changes in job. There was maybe releasing of jobs because of situations. I know for me, I started to realize the importance of family, and my close personal relationships became much more, not important because they were always important, but really a priority. And so for many of us, the entire world going into lockdown actually stopped the hamster wheeling that we were doing very unconsciously previously. So we're all stopped, and we're all looking around and thinking, okay, what is actually true for me? Now, alongside this 3D stopping, which is the physical, emotional, mental, egoic personality stop, there was also a huge uncovering or raising of what I term the 5D collective. So that is the really the oneness, or the energy of connection, the energy of knowing at a very deep level that we are actually all connected with each other, and ultimately we are all one and the same thing. The consciousness or the awareness of everything. As that has risen upwards, it has met the settling. So if you imagine, it's kind of rising up like this, and our mental energy is calming down, so we're able to meet it more. And for many of us, we've had very spiritual awakenings in this period of time, where we've kind of woken up out of ourselves and gone, oh, I'm not a hamster on a wheel. I'm not just my physical, mental, emotional body. I'm not just my ego. Actually, I am a much deeper, more expansive, and more connected spirit. So this is the kind of thing that when I say, have you landed? It's the question of, have you seen that? And many of you I know have seen that, in terms of, ooh, I'm more than just my ego. I'm more than just my personality. And this landing then gives you choice. So for some of you, we mentioned already, oh, I can start to see what is just the egoic general human fear, the environmental fear, if you like, or the collective fear of many, many egos all doing the same thing. And if I can drop under that or below that or before that, however you want to, however it feels to you, then I can see that underneath all of that drama and all of those stories and belief systems, there is an eternal essence or movement of energy that is becoming more available to many of us. And you might have even noticed this within your friends and family. The people are talking more about spirituality, or they're talking more about things that they would have never talked about before, or they're starting to become more open to Reiki and conversations around Reiki. A lot of people I know have started to rediscover their Reiki practice. They're starting to do it more with more commitment. And so really, as we come out of this forced enclosing, I'm sure many of you are also feeling this. There's an urge or a desire to do things differently than you were doing it 2 years ago. And I know many people are feeling this, and some people are forced into it in a sense because they've had to move country or move jobs or these kind of situations. But the forcing is inverted commas, right? There's no such thing as coincidence. So it's almost like spirit is putting you into these situations where you really need to push into something deeper. The next phase is really coming into more and more connection with that. So for some of you, you might have seen that very strongly, and you really are spending a lot of time in what we term the 5D. So maybe through the meditation or Reiki practice, you see more and more clearly, oh, I am not just my ego. I'm not just my little body personality. When I am really immersed in my spiritual energy or my awareness, I can start to see these patterns of behavior. Now, those patterns of behavior might be your own patterns of behavior, maybe the patterns around you. You might have more clarity when other people's energy is coming in. I've definitely been noticing this when they come in. It's almost like I can see their energy and what they're trying to get from me, or what they're trying to do, and what their fears are. And it's like I can see all their shit. And then I can see all mine as well. So it's like this interaction, this play that then happens. But what's really fascinating for me is, I think for all of us, we are able to detach a lot more easily than we could have done a few years ago. And that detachment is partly because we've had this 2 years of isolation. So we've really become much clearer on what's my stuff, because we haven't had to interact with people all the time, every day, just mindlessly going through our routines. For many of us, we've actually had the opportunity to separate. And through that separation, we have gained much more clarity. What is my stuff? What is other people's stuff? When we turn off the news, when we start to get engaged back into society. It's like, I know even going into a supermarket now, it's like, it's a bit different and a bit weird. And so it's that training that we've had whereby we've been kind of isolated, and now we're going back in. Now, as you go back in, the key, I think, is to start seeing the game, or the energy that is above the essence, or the drama, the stories, the war, the vaccine, the this, the that, all just drama. And honestly, you can really get involved in that and get all dramatic yourself, or you can drop under it. Now, when you drop under it, that's where the direction is. So the direction is not up there in the drama. The direction, your true direction, is before all the drama, when you're in your quiet space. Now, when I say direction, I don't confuse it with action or job title or what you are doing. I'm not talking about that. It's not about what you're doing. You may just go straight back into your work. You might already be back at work. Everything on paper might appear completely the same as it was 2 years ago. However, how are you different? How are you operating different? How are you speaking your truth, for example, opening up your throat chakra, being more authentic? Or it may be that you're opening your heart center and you've got a lot more compassion for the people around you. So your interactions at work or your interactions in your home life are very different. I'm talking more about that direction. So that ability for you to duck under all the drama and gather your truth, or gather your true authentic self to express. And this is where we're going into next. So the more of us that can express ourselves authentically without any fear, and hopefully that has also become much easier for you as we've dropped all of this hamster wheeling. We're like, oh, actually, none of that was particularly important either. It's like, who cares? It's all just drama. And as we drop under that, then your truth as it comes up will help to illuminate other people's truth as well. Because as people start to see you doing things, kind of like just doing your own thing, being your own self, and making choices based on what you feel like doing, what you enjoy doing, rather than just plowing down the same old, I think will make a big difference. And I see a lot of people doing this now. So the more and more people do this, the more permission there is. And there will be many, many tribes of people who are starting to gather who are just doing this. And there's just so much freedom in it. So I don't know if any of this makes sense, but what I thought we should do is to just hold that intention. If you're not clear, when I say 5D, if you're not really clear on what that means, my suggestion is that as we go through this Reiki meditation, that you just invite it. Now, if 5D is not a term that you particularly resonates, you could just call in your presence, your truth, your authentic self. Any of these is the same. It's the same terminology. And then as we go through the Reiki meditation, just feeling into it. It's not foreign. It's very familiar. This is who you are at the very core. So when we get to that, it's like, yeah, I feel this all the time. Yes, this is the whole point. You are this. And then it's how we can continue to bring that through before the mind starts to get all involved with it. But you should be doing this, and you shouldn't be enjoying yourself. You should be working hard, and all that stuff that is the drama on top of all that stuff. So as we go in the meditation, what I'm inviting people to do is to bring hands in Gassho prayer pose, just in front of your heart center. If this is not comfortable for you, then you could also bring your fingertips together, which is equally what we're trying to do, is just bring both left, right brain sides together. And if actually you don't particularly like doing this or this, then you could also just bring your hand over your heart center and then over your belly area as well, if you prefer to do it like that. One of the things that I have been asking people to play with is the pulling in of the attunement for yourself. So I'm starting to do a lot of experimentation around self-attunement. I do believe one of the other things that we have seen through this whole cocooning and shifting is Reiki itself has also shifted into a very different accessibility for people. So no longer requiring my services as a Reiki master, but actually you as just as an intender to receive the Reiki, it is now open for that service, which is very exciting. So I'm really going to invite you to bring it in yourself, to really experience receiving the attunement simply by asking Reiki, not asking me as a conduit. So me no longer being the messenger for Reiki, but you being able to access Reiki directly. And this is a phenomenal shift that has happened over the last couple of years. I'm so excited by this. So we're going to play with this as well, okay? Then, as I said, I'm going to do a little guidance, and you can follow my guidance, or you can just stick on the music that you like to play and receive the Reiki healing through the Reiki directly. But we are also going to tune in as a group, because group energy healing is always amplifying whatever our individual intention is as well. So we're going to do all that. I will guide you through it all, and just be open and enjoy. I mean, that's the whole point of this, right? And as we begin, just bringing hands in Gasho, or just placing your hands on your torso. We're going to start off with a couple of breaths. And the idea of the breathing is not to change it in any way, but to divert your attention, bring your attention into the breath, the chest, the heart center. And by doing so, we start to settle the mind, settle the body. Imagining that you have a lotus in your crown chakra, right at the top of your head. Just imagining that the petals are opening wide, and intending for yourself to receive a heart attunement, an attunement to Reiki. And you might imagine a white light coming in through your crown into the heart center. Or you may activate it through your breath, inhaling it down through the head, into the shoulders, into the chest. And you can even extend it all the way down into the belly. And activating the hands simply by exhaling into the hands. So we inhale, breathing that Reiki in through the crown, into the chest. Exhaling it all the way down the arms, into the hands, the fingers. Inviting Reiki in simply through your intention. And now placing your hands anywhere on your body that feels comfortable. Could be touching your lap, or you could be hands on the belly, or on the heart center and the belly, whatever feels right for you. Just tuning into the hands, just checking for any sensations or expansion, perhaps even tingling, vibrations. We're going to quickly scan through the body, making sure it's nice and relaxed. Starting at the top of the head, relaxing the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw. Using the breath, every exhalation, relaxing the muscles of the body. Relaxing the shoulders, the arms, into the elbows, all the way down to the hands and fingers. Relaxing into the chest, the diaphragm, the belly, all the organs in the tummy. All the way down the hips, relaxing into the thighs, the knees, calves, feet, toes. Bringing attention to the feet and allowing the soles of the feet to open, extending your energy all the way down into the ground, anchoring you into Mother Earth. You can inhale the Mother Earth energy if that helps to create more stability. Inhaling it up all the way through the body, anchoring you firmly to the ground, to Mother Earth, and all the support of the physical realm, enriching your physical body, supporting all the muscles and cells, healing all the organs, the structure. Your physical body is simply an extension of Mother Earth, made of the same materials. So just breathing in all of her strength, her healing. And now starting to connect in with the collective group gathering today, and also all those energies listening to this recording afterwards. No time, no space. Just feeling into all the other people and their collective support. Extending your intention for their healing and well-being, and opening to receiving all of their support back to you. Just letting it all in, opening. And noticing where you feel it in your body. Perhaps your heart chakra activates. Perhaps you simply feel expanded or tingling, heat. And noticing how the physical body can so easily be replenished through the earth, through the goodwill and good wishes of others. And now we're going to drop very gently away from all these 3D structures. And all that means is that you start to bring your attention and drop it beyond the body, beyond the mind and its thoughts, even beyond the breath. So you become the watcher. What is this essence in you that is watching the breath, or watching the thoughts, or aware of the body? This essence that can see the body, can see the thoughts, the structures, and expanding yourself outwards into the air, noticing that you can also be the air. Don't think about it. Don't contract around it. It is an expansion, not a contraction. Expanding yourself into the air around you. And see if you can extend even into the walls. The chair in which you sit. And notice all these structures are not particularly solid or real. Bringing your attention down into Mother Earth, all the way down through the feet, into the ground, into the earth. Noticing that same energy, the same presence. There's a deep stillness and calm. And then extending it out to all the individuals who are collective today. And just feeling into that essence or energy that connects you all of us the same energy. And this energy has no beliefs or thoughts of its own. It simply exists as pure awareness. And there is no drama here. No thoughts, no structures. Simply stillness and peace. And this is your true essence, your authentic self. And you might notice how easy it is to be pulled back up into thought or distracted by a pain or an ache or a noise. But then notice as soon as you let that go, just ignore it. Then you sink back once more into this spacious awareness. Just watching the breath. Watching the thoughts as if clouds in the sky or waves in the deep ocean. You are undisturbed. And very gently now, keeping this connection, starting to bring your attention back into the physical body. Noticing the edges of your physical body, the top of your head, all the way down the shoulders, into the arms, the chest, the belly, into the hips, all the way down to the feet. Wiggling your feet and toes, scrunching your fingers, raising your arms above the head, giving yourself a little shake all the way down the spine. But as you do this, just seeing if you can stay connected to the stillness, that sense of awareness within you, even though the thoughts and the movement comes back in. And this is your integration, being a 5D essence within a 3D body and mind and personality. And whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. So I am aware we've run over time, but this is hopefully the next stage now that we start to connect in. If you're not already, I'm sure many of you already are connected in with this, but it's the bringing that into daily life all the time and noticing when you get sucked back into the drama and then just coming back into the 5D. So it's like you're just constantly operating from a place of very deep calm and stillness. And then there's all this, talking and drama and stuff going on around you, but it's not sticky. So you're not getting sucked into it and thinking that it's somehow you and you somehow have to fix it and it's somehow important. And this is what I mean by direction. Like if you can really sink into this and operate from it more and more, then this is really where, personally, I think we're going.